everybody, and welcome to today's video. And in today's video, I'll be celebrating the comeback of the MLS by doing an election prediction between Orlando and Atlanta United. I'm sure most of you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know, the MLS is the American Soccer League. I'm a big soccer fan. I love soccer. I watch a lot of it. I'm also a big basketball fan, but I haven't really been watching recently. But Atlanta's doing good this year. I guess Trae Young's pretty good. But regardless, looking at this, I decided since Atlanta, like tonight, I think, or at least for me, I keep on wanting to say I'm on the East Coast, so I'm actually not on like the East Coast. I'm in the Eastern Time Zone. But for me, it's 9:38 right now. I don't know what time it is for you, obviously. You could be watching in like France for all I know, which I mean, like I doubt you would be. But if you're from France, hi. Um, yeah, that was random. But tonight I'm just gonna say tonight. Or like the first games, Houston played like San Jose, I think, and I was kind of sad to see Eric Remedi on San Jose. But whatever. So yeah, tomorrow Atlanta United is playing Orlando, so they are kind of our rivals. I mean, like this is probably just showing how much of a rivalry it really is, but I'm pretty sure we didn't even lose a single game to them until last season when our striker, like our star striker, second best player in the league, was injured. And our team was breaking down. If you can really call that a rivalry, then whatever. But I don't like them because we're rivals. Um, but yeah. So looking at these are just the team's colors. Atlanta United is red and black. I could have done like a red right there, black, red, black. That would make it confusing for like the lane tilts. Orlando's colors are like blue and or purple and white. I just decided to use purple. So yeah, I'm gonna go start by labeling Atlanta safe states. Georgia, I do think is safe. I mean, like obviously Atlanta's in Georgia, and obviously I'm biased. I mean, like I'm a big Atlanta United fan. I love Atlanta United. Um, but I mean, like who cares? I'm biased. I guess I'm like the opposite of UAP. I'm biased election predictions, or just for this. But I do think we would obviously carry Georgia safe. We have a big fan base there. I mean, like once again, this is probably just me being biased, but I would say that we have one of the strongest fan bases in in the MLS. Like Portland, they have a fairly strong fan base, but I mean, like our stadium is one of the biggest in the U.S. and we like in like 2018. I haven't looked at numbers recently, but we were like getting some of like the highest attendance numbers in the world in like for an MLS team. That's pretty significant. So yeah, we're definitely gonna carry the state safe. I could see people in Georgia maybe voting for like San Jose because of Remedi. I'm going to San Jose. Maybe voting for Chicago because of Lorenowitz I think Lorenowitz used to play there. I think Michael Parker's played like Chicago or Colorado or something. Um, but I mean like against Orlando, it's just not gonna happen. We would do very. I mean like I don't know if we would really see many votes in any of these areas coming from places other than these cities. Because I mean like I feel like someone in rural Utah is not gonna watch Real Salt Lake and make someone they might, but whatever. So I do think they do very well there. For Orlando, their safe state's Florida. Obviously, they're in Florida. Um, how could they not carry it safe? Um, Also New York. I think just because we have such a heated rivalry with the Red Bulls and NYCFC, I can't stand either of them. They're like my second and third least favorite teams. I mean, like, I can stand them. I don't like the teams. One of my best friends is actually a Red Bulls fan, or Red Bull or NYCFC. So it's kind of weird, but we're like friends. But I can stand some of their players. Before he left, I mean, like I guess I could tolerate Bradley Wright Phillips, but now he's playing in LA with this. I think he's still in LA, unless he's left with freaking stacked team. Which it's surprising that they were in like fifth place at one point, which is whatever. I have a lot of anger when it comes to soccer. Um, but so New York, I think is by the way these are just 2020 numbers because man, who cares? Just because of the turnout that we would see against Atlanta in New York City, it's definitely gonna be safe. Also, I mean, like I guess we could see like some Toronto fans like illegally voting or voting through New York. By the way, like Montreal and Impact or Montreal Impact and like Toronto and what's the other one? The other Canadian team. Blanking right now. Um, oh gosh. I can't think. I think it's the team that Alphonso Davies played for. Like the Whitecaps. I'm trying to remember their name or what city they're from. It's the city that the Grizzlies in the NBA used to play in, I think. My mind is just blanking right now. I'm actually gonna go look at that. That's what it was. Okay, but they're not gonna be in this. But we would just see such high anti-Atlanta United turnout in New York, and like if we were to see any voters from Toronto voting or illegally voting, or whatever, it'd mostly probably be anti-Atlanta vote. I mean, like Orlando was pretty good last year, and Atlanta was pretty bad. Because it was just a bad year for us. We've been good before then, and we will be good this year. We already are. We have a freaking stacked team, and Hines is a good coach. But regardless, most of their turnout would probably be against Atlanta, just because. Well, I don't know. I mean, like Orlando was pretty good last year, but still, I'm gonna give it to Orlando. Safe for Atlanta's likely states. I'm gonna give us Washington. See, I'm so biased. Illinois and Ohio. So in Washington, the Sounders, they're another really good team. They're in the West, though. I think that we're two good teams close to the top of our tables. I think that us and the Sounders sort of have this mutual respect for each other. And we can. I think that's something that we definitely have going for us. In Illinois, I mean, like Chicago, we were down towards like the bottom of the table. They could see that as, oh, we don't like them, but then again, I mean, like first off, I think Larenowitz used to play there, and if you don't like Jeff Larenowitz, you are an awful human being. I'm kidding, but like, how could you not like Jeff? But we were also down there, and I feel like they could look at Orlando as like this fourth, third place team, and look at them as elitist, even though I feel like Atlanta, like we just entered the league and we were really good, and I don't really view that. I don't think people view that as elitist. I think they would just view that as us, coming into this league, getting all these fun, fast-paced young players and playing, not having this, I don't want to say dynasty, not having this team that had already been there and just being good. But in Ohio, I mean, like, I feel like we have another, like, sort of mutual, relationship in Ohio. Cincinnati, I mean, like, they're a new team as well. They're not very good. They can probably, like, they may look at us and be like, oh, the new team, but, like, no, we gave them Garza, who is good. We gave them Vasquez, who is also pretty good. I mean, like, I think we had to. We have also given them Miram, who, I mean, like, how can you not want Miram? But then, in Columbus, I mean, like, Nagby, we let go of Nagby. Actually, I think he just left us, but still. And, I mean, like, they won the league last year. They're probably going to look at us as a team that was towards the bottom of the league as opposed to a team that was very close to the top. And, that could obviously be very beneficial to us if they're looking at a team that was closer to them as opposed to a team that finished in, like, 11th or 10th in the conference. Now for Orlando's likely states, I'm going to give them Tennessee and DC. So, in Tennessee, I mean, like, they're another new team. They've also been pretty good. They finished, like, 8th, I think. So, they're slightly better, they're better than, like, Cincinnati, but we're worse than we were, in our first year. Was this their second year? First or second year? I think this is their first year. But they are just rivals with us, generally another Southern state, or we're trying to see a rivalry, and they're like another strong Southern team. Zimmerman, I mean, like, he's a pretty good defender, and that's just something random that I threw out there, but yeah. So for Atlanta's lean states, I'm gonna give them Oregon, I'm gonna give them, Minnesota, I'm gonna give them Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Missouri. So, in Oregon, it's a lot similar to Washington. Like another team that's close to the top. We sort of have a mutual respect. I think that we do worse there because in um we beat them in 2018 in the MLS finals. So I think that we would ultimately just probably do worse just because we beat them. In Missouri, I mean like it's a similar thing except for with like a slightly worse team. Actually, not slightly worse. Kansas City. Kansas City was good in like 2018. They were like really close to winning. And I like Kansas City. I like Johnny Russell. But the thing is, like it's another like pretty strong team, and we've been good historically. I say, even though we've been a team for like this like our fourth season, but they have been fairly good in recent years, and we've also been pretty good. We've sort of had this sort of mutual respect towards the top of the table. I think we had a pretty good match. I think we beat them. I don't really remember much from anything. But Russell's a great player. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to give that to us. Lean. In Minnesota, they could be bitter after we beat them in that like famous snow game. But like, then again, they also have Ike Opara, who's like a good defender, and so is Miles Robinson. And yeah, and I just feel like giving it to us, because I feel like it would lean to us. Like they have the Target sponsorship, which the MLS also does. In like 2018, we had like 5 All-Stars. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to us. In Pennsylvania, like we don't really have a whole lot going against. Like we don't exactly have like a feud with Philly. Like to be fair, Joseph Martinez broke the hat trick record against Philly. I was actually at that game. That was around my birthday. So that's fun. But Orlando, like Philly was like really good last year. Like really, really good. They beat Toronto like 5-0 or something, which like it's impressive. That was one of their better games, but still, they were a good team. But Orlando was also really good in the same conference, and it could have sparked some problems. Also, Blake is a good goalie, and Guzan is a good goalie, but he's old, and Blake might see him and be like, "Yo, that's a guy. He's a good goalie. He's old. Maybe he could be good because I'm young." Or maybe he could also go look at what was his name? Rico Rocos Novos or whatever his name is, the new goalie, like the 18-year-old that's like really good. You could look at him and be like, "Yo, that's another cool young good goalie. Maybe I should be friends with him." I don't know, just saying. In in Massachusetts I just threw Massachusetts. I just decided to do it because that's what I normally do. That's what I would do. Because New England is the Massachusetts team. I think they play in Massachusetts. Like, would they play in like Manchester, New Hampshire? Not certain. But I'm just gonna put them in Massachusetts. So the thing is, like, we were similar to them, and they actually had a chance against who was it? DC. When they could have like had they beaten us or had they beaten DC, we would have come close to being in like the playoffs, and then they did. So they're like kind of nice to us. And like it's like a New England team, and to be fair, we beat them by like 7 goals in 2018. But still, like we beat everybody by a lot in 2018. We were really good in 2018. That's before Tata left and before Miggy left and before we signed Frank DeBoer and before he got rid of LGP. And yeah, okay. We've had a rough last year or two. But we were really good, and I think that they can understand that, and that they are nice to us by trying to win games, which like yeah, they're trying to win regardless, but still. Now for Orlando's lean states, I'm gonna give them Utah. These colors look so weird. Utah, Colorado, and California. Okay, Utah, Colorado, and California. So, in California, like, they're another good team, but I feel like in LA, Galaxy, the Galaxy, like, kind of not really, like, a major team anymore. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is good with them, and I love Zlatan Ibrahimovic. My brother is obsessed with him. I guess I like him. He's good and he's fun. But in LAFC, I mean, like, they're just I can't stand LAFC. They're just like Carlos Vela is just so good, and he just seems like such a great person. It just makes me so angry, um, because he seems like it's like Tom Brady, where he just seems like such like he just seems so perfect. It just makes me mad, which is probably a problem. It's probably like a me problem, but still, um, but I can't really. It's like it's like Tom Brady. It's like I'm trying to think of another example as well. It's like he's just so good and so like seems like such a good person that it just is annoying. That someone can be so good, like just genuinely not problematic, like in any way, shape, or form. That it just like he's just so good. I can't stand him. He's just too good. And he also broke Joseph Martinez's goal record. So yeah, but Carlos he's a good player. He's really really good, and I mean like they're one of the better teams, and or one of the best teams. I honestly think that I feel like there's a good chance that they win. I feel like they probably could have and should have maybe won, or at least made it to the finals. I mean like they have such a stacked team with Vela and Rossi. Like they're so good, but um regardless, I think that that's just kind of going to put him over the edge. Like, I guess San Jose may be grateful for us giving them Eric Remedi. I mean, like, he's a good player, I guess. But it's not exactly like we, like, gave them Joseph Martinez. So I think it would probably be lean. Utah, I mean, like, it could vote for Atlanta. I'll say that. It could be, like, a lean to tilt Atlanta State. Um, I'm honestly not certain just because, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot in Utah when it comes to like this. I mean, like I guess they're a pretty good team in 2018, or they made the playoffs. I guess actually I'm gonna have to get this to Atlanta just because Rusnak is a really good defender and he can relate to Moreno because Moreno's also a midfielder and Moreno's also really good attacking mid. In Colorado, I mean like it's a similar thing. I don't really see any reason why they would vote either way, but I mean like Atlanta's been pretty good in recent years, so I guess I'm just gonna give it to Orlando. Also, well, what was that called? No, it was Columbus. Never mind. I was gonna say that they put us out of the playoffs in 2018 or 2017, but that was Columbus. Never mind. But like I guess they had Tim Howard and Goose was like the next best goalie in America, and that could be like making them out. I don't know. I mean, like I have no real reason to give Colorado either way. It's kind of just like random. In Texas though, I am actually gonna give it to Atlanta by a tilt margin. This may be my bias, but whatever. I feel like it's a similar thing as in Missouri. I mean, like Dallas and Houston are two fairly good teams, and I feel like we have this mutual respect. I mean, like Dallas I like Dallas. I mean, like Barrios is pretty good. I like Pomical. Also Pomical is good. He's still Dallas, right? I assume he is. Um, and he was like on like the men's national team or whatever. And Miles Robinson was as well. And yeah, maybe they're friends. I don't know. It's kind of random. A strange random video today. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video tomorrow. I'm doing a DeSantis versus Yang election prediction. So please stay tuned for that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all there. Bye.